Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome back to Wind Waker. In this part, we're going to finish the Forest Temple. I think. I hope. Looking at the next thumbnail for the next video, it looks like I'm not in the Forest Temple. So I'm assuming we're going to finish it or just give up. I'm not sure.
Brian, how dare you cheat? They can't see that thumbnail.
I mean,
We're
like,
omnipotent. God.
I can see all the thumbnails for all
And
the videos
omniscience.
in my brain. Even the ones I haven't made yet. So...
Omnipotent aside, that's still cheating.
I can cheat if I want to. I can leave my friends behind. Because my friends don't cheat, and if they don't cheat, then they're no friends of mine. I
Wait a
had to,
second.
I'm sorry.
But
Cheaters never win, Brian.
You know, I feel like this just reveals a whole new side to you.
But
The funky side?
but if they're your friends, and your friends don't cheat, but friends that don't cheat aren't your friends, how are they your friends in the first place?
You see, Brian's actually a loner.
It all makes sense now.
I mean, you're gonna have to take that up with the safety dance people. So I have a funny story about, I don't know how funny it is, but I have a story about my first playthrough in this particular room. So the first time I played this game, I rented it from Blockbuster back when Blockbuster didn't suck.
Psh, what a
So
loser.
I got I got to the room we started this part in, and then I had to give the game back, right? Because I was renting it. So freaking 5 years later, I actually buy the game. And I was in that. I loaded up my old save file from 5 years ago, and I didn't know where I was in the temple, so I ended up running around in circles for an hour because I didn't know what rooms I had been in and which rooms I hadn't been in.
God damn, Brian.
And I ended up trying to solve a puzzle that I already solved.
You never stop
And
in
I-
the middle of a temple.
Brian, you
I had
lied.
to give it back.
Brian,
I didn't want the late fees. What I lie about?
you lied. That wasn't funny at all.
I mean,
I was gonna say, it also makes it
said
obvious that this was
modify
the
it.
first Zelda game you
That
played.
was just depressing, honestly. You just reminded me of Blockbuster.
Oh, what happened? What happened? Did the CEO just do crack one day and I'm gonna make it so people can keep the DVDs, but we're just going to charge them for them, even though they didn't keep it past the late fee date, whatever that was. And then Netflix appeared.
Oh, so the funny thing is, I actually heard recently that when they were dealing with Netflix, when they were, competing with Netflix, they decided that a wonderful idea would be to not have late fees, because Netflix doesn't have late fees. So people just never brought the discs back.
Well, yeah. Here's the
that's
thing.
kind of stupid.
What? They did not have late fees, but they had a restocking fee. Is the thing. So if you kept the movie or video game or whatever for more than a certain amount of time, they would just assume that you want to keep it, and they would charge you for it. And then when you're like, I don't want this, take it back, they would charge you to put it back.
So why
in
take
the-
it back?
Well, because I don't if I have a movie that I was just renting and it sucked, I wouldn't necessarily want to keep it.
Well, if you have to pay to give it back, why would you take it back?
Well, because they also charged you to keep it, is the thing. They didn't just let you keep it and that was the end of it. They charged you money when they thought you were going to keep it.
You see, this
they
is
charge
like
you additional
Blockbuster
money.
died because they made the most convoluted fucking bullshit you could ever think of.
Can I
for
just
the
talk
simple
about...
process of renting a DVD.
Yeah.
Can I just talk about these tempting gaps between some of the trees and the vines here? Where it just looks
Yeah.
like you could sneak through, but you really can't.
Yeah, I've tried more than once. that was just a limitation of the model, I guess, because they didn't want it to clip into
Yeah.
the actual trees, but I don't know. Link probably could have. He'd lose part of his hair a couple times, but
Story
I
of
feel
his
like
life.
he could. I don't even want to think about what happens inside of those flower things. I think one of us might have mentioned that before, like last time we met, but just to bring it up again, like when he shoots out, there's like a puff of smoke. What is that? What is that exactly?
I mean, that
Whatever
puff of
it
smoke
wants to
shows
be.
up for, like, everything in Wind Waker.
Yeah, but like, it's not like a regular uncolored. This is like greenish yellow smoke, which leads me to believe that it's a weird substance. That's probably why we're seeing choo-choos. It's probably drugs. And all of this, Link's entire adventure is one enormous drug trip.
Plot
I mean,
And he's
twist.
still
I've
on
heard-
Outside Island.
And that's why
I mean,
it
I've
looks
heard-
so weird.
That's
I've
why
heard
everything's
crazier.
cel-shaded.
I've heard crazier theories. Like Link.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Link being dead for all of Majora's Mask. That's a dumb theory.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. Oh man.
Thankfully, game theory doesn't actually have like a defense force. Most of the people that are huge fans of game theory will agree with you that yeah, that one's probably not very good. And like, it doesn't matter which one you're talking about; they'll probably just agree with you.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay. This is me. I actually So you're supposed to have the boomerang before you get into those doors, but during my first playthrough, when I was fucking around, I had no idea what I was doing. I was actually able to take a Deku Nut down there and throw it at the flower things. So I wanted to see if I could try to do it again, but sadly I
Then
could not
fucked up.
recreate. Yes, exactly. So I'm going to do it the legitimate way. It's amazing. Like, I ended up sequence breaking the game by not knowing what I was doing, which is just the way
That's
things
how
go,
all the
I
greatest
suppose.
sequence breaks happen. Somebody didn't know what they were doing and suddenly found another way to do it. It's not a wrong way, it's just another way.
See, I was always under the impression, like, I could never be like a speedrunner who like pioneers the routes, because don't they go through a phase where they're just trying everything on everything?
I would more or less.
Like, how could they possibly not? without
Adventure
convoluted-
game logic. Although
Yeah.
at this point, like, video games are understood well enough that you usually have something to go off of.
Yeah. Although, like, how do people get inside the codes of, like, video games?
Computer
Do
wizardry.
they, like... Just, like, I've never understood how that happened.
I mean, ask the Smash leakers. They would know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here is the... Was there a mini-boss in the last dungeon?
What last
I'm
dungeon?
not sure. The the first dungeon, the one with the dragon.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Oh well, okay, yeah. It was kind of
In all
It wasn't a
fairness,
mini
not
boss.
all Zelda dungeons in every game have mini bosses.
right, but I was about to say this is the first mini boss of the game, and I just wanted to make sure that was correct. But it is the last dungeon we had something like this, but it was just Hawks dropping moblins and shit. So, but this is the first proper mini boss. And this takes me like, I don't know, like a couple minutes, but later on in the adventure, I'm going to get an item that will allow me to defeat these things in seconds, which is nice because there's something later called the Savage Labyrinth, and you have to fight like four of these, and two at a time. So it's really nice to have that item, but that comes later. And now that we have destroyed the bug thing, we can get. I think this is where the boomerang is. I hope this is. Oh yeah, okay. Because I thought like that door opened. And, like, am I supposed to leave? Is that the way out? But no, it's I just missed it. It's the treasure chest with the boomerang, which is what you actually use. I don't know if I said that right, but it's what you actually use to defeat those flower things.
Jesus, Brian, it was 2
will.
minutes ago.
You know how horrible my memory is.
Okay, but like, literally, less than 5 minutes.
Oh really? Oh really, Ariel? Do you have a stopwatch?
Well, we're 10 minutes into the episode, and it wasn't at the very beginning.
So
We're only 10 minutes in. Oh god.
I can't believe I.
I don't know if I could take.
So
much
there
more
are.
Brian.
Always good to have you here, Austin. But I especially love the boomerang because it allows me to deal with these assholes. I fucking hate these guys because there's really no way to defeat them permanently before you get the boomerang. But after that, they're a cakewalk. The boomerang is also good. They're basically giant, really fucking scary. We'll see them in a future part, but they're really scary versions of the P-Hats in like on the Great Sea. And the boomerang is pretty much the best way to take them down too. And I'm glad like the route from Dragon Roost Island to this island is really direct. Because if I had encountered those things, like in my first playthrough, with no way to defeat them, I probably wouldn't have kept playing. And yes, I'm a wimp. I probably couldn't take something like Resident Evil or Dead Space or something like that. But
Resident Evil's not
I was a
scary.
youngin', so...
What a loser.
I mean,
The only
like...
scary Resident Evil is Remake, and that's not even that scary.
See, it's a little suspenseful, because that's how it's supposed to be with the resource management. And, oh, if you go through this hallway, like in the remake, I avoided both corner hallways so that I wouldn't get attacked by the dogs.
Well, there
But
are
if you
dogs
don't
now?
know that dogs break through the windows in those hallways, then, you know.
Where have you been for the last fucking, like, 20 years?
Well, Brian probably didn't know that.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
because
I haven't-
Brian's a pleb.
Hey, I don't play
Okay, but
Resident Evil
Crimson
games.
Heads, though.
Okay, Crimson Heads are scary.
Yeah. See, the remake is probably the scariest. Well, actually, how bad is dealing with Nemesis? I still haven't played 3.
Nemesis isn't really scary. Like, it's more of like a jump scare kind of thing. Then you get over it once you realize you can just run away from him half the time.
Fair enough. I heard something about that.
What's that about?
Because Pokemon Go exists now, they're like, you know what, why not?
I mean, that was fast though. Like, but I guess if it's not a particularly complicated game, it can be developed in like 2 months. But oh, it hasn't been made yet.
So,
Okay.
wait, is it just a game where you look at pictures?
Oh. Oh, that's a good way to make sure nobody sleeps ever again.
That's lame.
So, how long?
Not
Okay, but
not the whole thing. Just the words die. That's lame. That's something I can come up with in like a second.
right, but there are going to be people who are
Is it
legitimately
hyper realistic? That's a bad.
Is it?
It was a
Okay.
serious question, Wolf. Is it hyper realistic? Bad creepypasta.
I'm also sure there are going to be like 18,000 different waivers for it because somebody is going to end up chucking their phone through a window. Like, we had that video where somebody got jump scared, but you know that thing with the game where you had to move the square through a really tiny corridor, and when you got to the end,
Oh, the guy
picture...
punching the computer.
Yeah, and he punched through his monitor. It's
that's-
going to be that, only people are going to throw their phones through a window. So.
Wow, that's like
Or a wall.
OG memes there, Brian. You need to calm yourself down.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I'm calling it now. Yeah, depending.
Well, see, I've never played this game, but I always see it super cheap. For DSi, and I assume it would work on 3DS too, because the 3DS has a camera. There is a horror game that's focused on using the camera. It's very poorly rated, and it's always really cheap. But it exists. You guys want to?
I legitimately thought your sentence was just gonna be there is a horror game.
Yes. Only one. Now time to debate which one it is.
I mean, is it poorly rated just because the scary portions are really not that scary, or?
I haven't really looked into it super hard.
Let's be honest, it's a DSiWare game. That's pretty much good enough to let you know it's quality. Like, I'm pretty sure the
So I
only
said
good
it's very
DSiWare games
cheap.
I've ever seen are Way Forward games.
It's a very cheap game, though, if anyone wanted to find it and try it somewhere.
I mean,
Yeah,
I might look
brave
into it if
soul
I get
with money
really
to
bored.
waste.
So speaking of horror again, what the hell is this water made of?
See, I thought it was poison, but then it's not making you take damage, so I don't know.
I mean, maybe Valoo used to live here, and he didn't have indoor plumbing. Maybe.
Maybe it's just blueberries.
I don't know, the tint
Grape
seems a little
soda.
too dark to be blueberries. Grape soda, I love grape soda. And no, not just because I'm black.
You know what? You're the one who brought it there, Brian.
Yeah, Brian. Fucking racist.
There's probably going to be someone to be like, don't succumb to your racist stereotypes, Brian. You are your own man. Well, I feel like I can't like things like watermelon and grape juice without justifying it anymore.
Brian, you're making this commentary very awkward. Well, fair.
Oh man. But this room is fun because I'm not skilled with. So those four like diamond things on the top of those pillars, you have to hit them with your boomerang.
Yes.
I don't know why, but it takes me like a million tries to do it correctly because I don't understand if it's supposed to be like a certain order. Oh wait, never mind. I got it on the first try.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Brian, this
Brian.
is like Zelda Puzzle 101.
No,
How
like,
many times are you gonna say something takes you forever and you do it immediately?
Years of practice, man.
I recorded this a while ago, and I remember having trouble with puzzles like that. But I don't remember exactly when, or because you tend to hit puzzles more than once. There are very few puzzles that are types, I guess, that are one-offs. So I wasn't sure if this was the time it was going to be a bitch, but it appears it wasn't. So I guess I was foreshadowing my mistake.
Didn't you start recording this when we like started the commentary group?
Yeah, almost a year ago, man.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes, I
like
did.
a year, and you're still not done, are you?
No, I'm done. I'm done recording. I'm not done editing the RAWs, but I'm done with the
Oh.
recording. I've beaten the game.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I was about to
So,
say
yeah.
it took you a year to beat this game.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I took a pretty long hiatus in the middle because I didn't feel like doing the Triforce hunting because that is objectively the worst part of the game, and it's just not something I ever want to deal with. Like, usually when I play the game, I play up to that point and then I stop because the last dungeon isn't really worth it to like go through the Triforce shard bullshit. So, but no, I had to do the complete thing because people would have yelled at me if I had just stopped.
Or you could have gotten Wind Waker HD and done the better
I was gonna
Triforce hunt.
bring that up again, but I thought I was beating a dead horse.
I'm not paying for a game. I already have. I used my free game to play Pikmin 3. And,
Ariel, we're playing Zelda. You're supposed to say Re-Dead.
Re-deading a... What? Beating a re-dead horse?
Yeah.
Like, how
All
am
right,
I trying to
somebody
work this
draw
in?
a re-dead horse. What does that even look like?
I was gonna say you're beating a dead king of red lions, but I thought that was a little too wordy. So,
Oh, that's the part.
yeah, I was gonna say,
one
so
of
I
these
guess
days-
you running in a circle is supposed to be our warning.
I hope that in the end of one of these parts, you just insert that clip of Dexter with his hair on fire running in circles.
I will do that. I will do that later. You will see
better
it.
now. It's been immortalized. Forever.
Alright, goodbye. Oh, wait, keep talking.
End it!